is Rihanna, and I just typed up what I was going to say so that I can recall it easier. But I think that for the first question, how would a zero tolerance policy affect the drink and drive issue in the US? I think that there is definitely an issue, but I think that a blanket policy like a zero tolerance policy wouldn't necessarily accommodate for the other issues, that finding alternative solutions to drinking and driving, or even just sobering up and then driving would have, which would be, for instance, if you're just a broke college student and you go out and you drink responsibly and sober up. With that zero tolerance policy, there's no room for driving home even after sobering up, so the alternative would just be to walk home, and I think that that leaves room for assault, harassment, or even trafficking. I think that those risks are real, and they're higher for vulnerable groups and women, especially at night, considering most people go out and drink at night. I think that having stricter rules for drinking and driving is definitely important. I just don't think that a zero tolerance policy is taking into consideration the risks that may be involved with it. I think that we need to invest in real solutions like having rideshare options, or just having something that can help with transportation back to a safer place without having to be an inconvenience to others or super pricey. I know that that's not necessarily considered when there's lives at risk. Drinking and driving kills, but I think that there has to be a middle ground between what we have going on now and zero tolerance. And then for the next question about why is vaping so popular in the US among young adults and adolescents, I think that vaping is popular among us because of stress. Ultimately, I think that it's just a new age, and I don't think the ways of managing stress have changed that much. I think it's just changed into a more accessible version, which would be vaping rather than cigarettes in the previous years. But although it does inevitably cause more stress by causing health issues or just the constant desire for it, I think that that immediate relief that people feel when vaping, I think that that's what keeps people vaping and starting. And then I think that it's also popular because it's introduced through peer pressure or just wanting to fit in. I think that since it's just a continuing trend of vapes becoming popular flavors, or just there's even vapes that you can like play on like a phone, I think that they're clearly catered to younger people and they're in every gas station. I think that peer pressure combined with easy access, I think that that's a combination that's inevitably going to lead to more people doing it. And then how are the meanings of vape different than smoking traditional cigarettes or chewing tobacco? I think that people think that nicotine is cleaner, even though it's definitely just more aesthetically appealing, I guess. I think that since you don't get the immediate physical alterations from the damage it's doing, and then also I think that obviously it's more discreet and less invasive. Like when you light up a cigarette, people will immediately just smell it, and it's just a lot less appealing. But yeah, I think that ultimately we could fix this by just having stricter regulations and making them less accessible and catered to the right audience. I think that will definitely help.